Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and now that we've let the dust settle after the crazy release of Ultimate Masters, it's time to, well, I guess just tear it apart, analyze it, and this is all based on my personal experiences, which I sell enough cards on enough platforms and watch other sellers enough to give you a very accurate view of what is happening. And there seems to be a gigantic disconnect between reality and what people are saying on social media and my comment section and other creators making videos. First and foremost, let's clear up one of the misconceptions spread by, he's the worst, Desolator Magic. He said in an earlier video that the Japanese card quality was vastly superior. That was based on past Japanese cards, and yet it would appear that somehow Wizards of the Coast managed to make that even crappier. That's right, the Japanese cards do the same thing but at a slower rate of speed as the American paper, basically. Even though it's purple core paper, it must be like cheaper purple core paper than in the past, or I guess it's possible that the purple core paper always was bad. I just didn't realize it because the humidity was higher than in the winter, like when Battle Bond came out, I guess. Either way, the cutting quality and accuracy, the corners and the ink are far better, as is the surface of the card and the friction coefficient. So that's not wrong, but the cards don't outright drastically curl, so it's not as bad, but it's kind of the same thing where if you felt a lot of the recent ones, where the edges are too tight and too constrictive compared to the expansion of the interior. So you can kind of flip-flop between concave and convex like a curve on the card, and it does not feel right. It doesn't shuffle right. It doesn't spring right. It's not good. So to call these nice collectible archive quality, no, although the ones that I have put in penny sleeves have been flawless. So I mean, if you keep them in sleeves, or if you put them in a sleeve, then flatten them out with like gravity, or I don't know, there's all kinds of tricks. It's not as bad, but it's pretty bad. Like, it's bad enough that I feel I should correct myself and say it's not as good as I made it out to sound. It just takes a little bit longer and it's a little bit less bad. Well, so what? Also, misconception number 2. Oh, the prices have been falling. The prices are tanking. Everything's going down. It's a disaster. Everything's crashing. The sky is falling. It's the end of the world. The box EV was $590. What the hell did you think would happen? Yes, some cards are going to go down. But also, people are wrong. First of all, the product is not going down, okay? I mean, the product was selling for $275 a box, and the singles, like I said, were like $590. So they're going to move together a little bit. But part of that is, well, people liked this. It had a positive connotation. When people thought of it, they had a positive opinion of it because people are saying good things about it. There are good cards in it. It's valuable. It'll be good for the future. This is the last one they're doing. Everything about it screams, buy it, it's good, and then, oh, well, you'll get an average of a 2-to-1 return on the singles on day one. Like, everything that anybody heard about this was, it's good, buy it, you want it. So that limited the number of sealed boxes that were liquidated online. They were being sold locally. People are buying individual packs. They know that it's like gambling with a huge edge in your favor. That's very attractive. And then don't forget the massive, massive horde of dumbasses like Sports and More. I mean, he's basically the king of it at this point, who pre-sold them on pre-sale in the thousands within S for like, I don't even remember, what was it, $265, $270? Congratulations, you played yourself. Right now, lowest on eBay, $290. Which I believe I said $290 to $320 is exactly what I would expect it to be 2 days after release. So it's almost like I do this thing for a living. It's almost like that's why I only sold 75% of my boxes and held on to the rest. This ain't my first rodeo, and when everybody wants this and nobody wants to sell it immediately, emergency, quickly, it takes the number that would be sold on eBay and just cuts it by like 66% minimum. On top of that, people are buying it to sit on it because there's so many golden cards in it that it's just like, here's a staple, here's a staple, here's a staple. If you sit on this entire box, you could wait even just a year, literally 1 year, and then we're going to have a lower volume of reprints with no more master sets, probably. Depends what they put in its place. We're still waiting to see that, but theoretically, all these cards should go up 10-20% in the next year or two, and you've got a guaranteed investment. It is a brilliant investment. People are buying them to sit on them, not open them, so the singles are never hitting the market. And even small shop owners and small single sellers know this, so they're either sitting on them if they have the money, or they're opening, half or 75% or just whatever, or they're just not in a hurry at all to get rid of them out of their inventory, because it's almost like the longer they hold them, the better it is. In fact, in the last week, it's gone up $15 a box. Also, 3 different distributors that I checked with are completely sold out. I'm convinced 6 of them are completely sold out. And by completely sold out, I mean, yeah, of course they have some, but they're holding on to them themselves and whatever. There's none for sale for all intents and purposes. That means they're out. So since nobody's willing to sell these online, there's an upward trend and there's no rush, and people could open them for even more money. Sealed boxes by next week are going to be 300. That's just a given. There's nothing that could make them go down in that time. A second wave cannot be created that quickly. Oh, about that, I'm starting to think with this quick of a price rise and this many people sitting on them and this response and this EV, I think there's going to be a small second wave. I think it's going to be pretty conservative. That's not going to absolutely crush the prices like EMA did. But I think within 4 weeks, maybe, we'll be seeing a second wave. And yeah, bad time to release it right after Christmas. Not smart, but if it's really small, like we're talking 20,000 boxes, maybe 30,000, it'll just maybe sink the price to like 265, 270. That would be nice. I mean, for somebody to get back into it, if they sold them off, but they want some to hold on to, or people wanted to open them, but they sold out too quickly from whatever their source was, just whatever. Like, that actually would be nice. I just don't know if I personally would jump into them then, because second waves are usually really bad. The only time it was okay was probably, it was either Commander 2017 or 2018. I don't remember. I don't even remember if 18's out. Whatever, one of them. I jumped into that one second wave. In fact, I think it was 2017, and I still made some money, but it crashed pretty good. I had to get rid of it for a little bit lower price than I thought, but still profitable. So what are people talking about all this crashing? Well, the singles prices, because they were $590. I mean, people are going to undercut each other, okay? This is just what happens. Now, there's a catch to all this, so take everything I'm about to say with a grain of salt, because there's something that kind of flips it on its side or head or face. What is that? You guys know I suck at sayings, okay? You would think I speak English, but you'd be wrong. Hablo solamente en español, and I translate it on the fly for every single one of these videos. So it flips it on the side of its face, and the hand is on the other foot, and something about gloves, and yeah. So the singles prices are going down because, well, like on eBay, TCG Player, then Card Kingdom kind of looks at that secondary market because it moves faster, and it's 100 sellers or 1,000 sellers versus one seller like Card Kingdom or Channel Fireball, Troll and Toad. Don't order from them, they're terrible. So what always happens with any product is I'll get, I don't know, a Snapcaster Mage. So he's going for, I don't know, $48 on eBay or whatever, something in that neighborhood. So then I have one and I'm like, well, $47.50. Like, I want to be the lowest one. People are legitimately that petty that they're going to buy something from someone for like 10 cents less, even I've seen 5 cents less. They will buy from the cheapest just because of a psychological thing. Most people are too dumb to look at the people's feedback level and like where they live to base it on shipping time. They're just like, 7 cents. So yeah, 50 cents, they're buying it from me. But then somebody else undercuts me by 25 cents. Then somebody else undercuts them by $1 because they're like, oh, whatever. And then other people are like, oh boy, everybody's undercutting each other and I've had to lower the price 3 times. I'm just going to get 42. Because just think about it. If I sell all my singles for 10% less than what I thought, than the actual value that they were or are sitting at. Like currently the eBay low would be 45 and I drop it to 40.50. Yeah, that would be 10%. Oh, doing that quick maths. Okay, the box EV was $5.90. Cool, I'll lose $59 off that and make 5 something a box. I'm not going to do the math. I'm just not. Shut up. So people know what the margins are. I mean, people will not undercut each other quite as aggressively if the box EV is like $105, because then they'll be like, I'm going to take a loss if I drop these at all. And then people just kind of start matching each other and undercutting each other by like 5 cents. It gets real tight. So what can counteract this? Because like if every seller drops at 25 cents, why isn't a Snapcaster $10 by now? Well, one, not everybody does this. Some of them just rely on reputation, and maybe they send out some bonus foils with large orders, or they're famous for like really protecting their cards really well, and then other people have had bad experiences with other sellers. Maybe they get their stuff to the post office same day every day, so they cut like 1 or 2 days off. Maybe they always provide tracking. You know, there are reasons to be like, nah, I got customer loyalty, you know, and plus you can see how many buyers added you as a saved seller too. That is a public statistic. Oh, pardon me, privately visible statistic on your own control panel. But for the people who do it, there are these things called customers, and they're buying the cards, and they aren't very patient either. They don't think, well, let's just wait and see, because you wait and see long enough, they're going to be sold out. So the whole time that sellers are undercutting each other, the buyers are buying them back up. They're buying the cheapest, then the next cheapest, then the third cheapest, then the fourth cheapest, and before you know it, they bought it back up $2. And if a card gets too popular, people start looking and they're like, wait a minute, and they actually raise the price. Well, this time around, it is the lowest amount of inventory I have ever seen on all of eBay. There are Ultimate Masters good staple cards, rares and mythics, where if you type in 4, just the number 4 after it, you will get nothing. There is literally nobody on planet Earth selling a set of 4 of them. Now, some idiots who need to learn how to use eBay will say, I have 9 in stock, quantity 9. Nobody's buying 2 of those. Everybody is an asshole and will buy exactly 1, and you will have to pay $3 first class shipping combined with envelope cost and label and printing to send that to 9 different people. I don't know what the hell is wrong with people. I don't know if every customer on the planet is a Commander player. I have no explanation for why nobody ever buys more than 1, like ever, under any circumstances. I suspect it's because every single last buyer knows damn well what they're doing and they're an asshole. That's my theory. I mean, if they're just money-wasting, knowing assholes, that would explain it. I do not have another working theory. So always list them in sets of 4, otherwise you're gonna pay $12 shipping instead of $3 shipping. So anyway, you can find people who have 4 for sale, but not at a time. I just painstakingly counted them all up. The total amount of Ultimate Masters Noble Hierarchs for sale, grand total, the entire global inventory for sale on eBay is 31. I have never in my entire life seen something like that with any set of any product from Magic ever. Not even close. To not see 500 to 1,000 of these for sale at any given time is impossible. It's impossible. So here's why it's possible and specifically why it's happening. I only had 13 grand to spend, so that's what I bought. I bought less singles because they cost more. It's really that simple. Or I should say I bought boxes and split them into singles, and I got less singles out of them because I bought less because it cost more. So every seller, every singles person everywhere is opening less because they don't have limitless money. It's really that simple. Also, it was reasonably profitable to sell some boxes sealed, especially locally. And it's a lot less work than, opening 16 more boxes and getting another play set of everything. Then you gotta count them, sort them, list them, blah. I mean, if people want to walk in and give you $2.80 a box local, that's not bad. Very tempting, so a lot of people did that. Also, a lot of them just in the entire global market ended up in the hands of people who wanted to open them and keep them for trade binders, I guess, or wanted to sit on them as an investment. It's just less boxes went to the singles buyers in general. So the amount of demand was pretty darn high, but the supply went down because of the price increase and because, well, I think they just simply printed less because of the higher price. I mean, so popularity versus supply, everything, yeah, it makes sense why there's a lot less of every individual card on the secondary market right now. But people are still undercutting the cards a little bit, so there is a little bit of a downward trend, and I don't really have a strong reason for why the box toppers are going down other than I think people at this point are just not buying them because they know they'll go down. So collectively, all these big baller, whale, money spendy collector people, they're just like, come on. Every time there's a super limited thing like this, they go down quickly. Like any kind of Masterpiece Expedition, Invocations, any of that crap, they all went down. Why the hell would I buy it for 20-30% more? So they're all holding off. until they see the prices go slightly up. So they will fall. And I think it's a little bit optimistic what people were charging, for pre-orders like 5 days ago and stuff. Like you'd have like pre-order Liliana's for what, 250, 300, and people are like, well, 300, I didn't get to keep that price. Funny thing is that one almost dead. I think it's 260 on eBay right now. But let's see, Teague and that one black and purple thing from Kamigawa or whatever, Goryo. I think both of them like dropped in half. I mean, they're just tanking. Like they just aren't that popular of cards. There's nothing to really support them. It's just kind of based on its other price. But nobody's like, I'm going to collect a Goryo. I'm the biggest Goryo fan ever. Like Liliana, I get it. And she's an ultra famous card. But Goryo, who gives a crap? So Goryo currently fell from like 105 to I think it's like 40 something now or something. It's really bad. But believe it or not, Dark Depths is still like $120, give or take. That one did not fall much because it's so famous. So I'm thinking, yeah, the ultra collectibles start high at a premium in case they're so hot and people want to pick them up, but then the sellers of them are willing to drop them pretty quickly. But just remember, they can go back up just as quick because there are so few of them to go around. I mean, they are exactly one per box. And theoretically, if you were to open 100,000 boxes, it would take exactly 40 boxes to get one of each. Obviously, if you opened 40 boxes, you would not get one of each. You would have some repeats. But like I said, on a large scale, that's how it would work. So to summarize, I mean, they're going down because they always do. Masterpiece, Premium, whatever, they always go down. I would expect them to just skyrocket in the next 5 years, though. I mean, collectors, buyouts, the fact that they're never going to be printed that way again, like, come on. They're basically the perfect investment at this point. Look what happened to Expedition Lands. I mean, they're lands. People want them. They're popular. People play with them. Even the crappy Egyptian ones are starting to go up quite a bit. And it's not just because of buyouts. It's because there's buyouts because the prices were drifting up a little bit. Because the supply is downright tiny. So one little trend, one little group of people saying, I want to buy some. I mean, I think like 5,000 or 6,000 of each card exist in the entire world or something ridiculous like that. Take from that the number for sale, yeah, it's easy to drive the price up. So yeah, they're down now, yeah, they're falling because they always do, but it's not like they're a bad product and it's not like nobody wants them and they're crashing. But as far as the singles prices, yeah, they're going down because of undercutting, but that's just a side effect of, hello, $5.90 versus we're paying about $200 a box at the distributor level. Yeah, some sellers are willing to take a little bit less to make sure that it doesn't fall any further. I'm not, I'm pricing them very conservatively because I know the prices are going to rebound pretty dang quick. People are buying these. I mean, it's like their only chance to buy these for cheap before they go back up. And people are thinking, well, what about a week? Well, what about 2 weeks? Well, what about a month? Like, when will I have the best time to buy it? And people start getting scared. They're like, you know what? They already fell like 20%. Let's buy them right now. And my sales are going pretty damn good. So the singles are flying off the shelves. There's almost no inventory compared to a normal amount on eBay for any other set. That's a perfect storm. As soon as you start selling out completely, like there's cards I'm completely out of already. It's been what, 2 days? I'm out and they're out and MTG Mint Cards is out and this seller's out and that seller's out and I don't know, Card Kingdom could be out of them. That usually doesn't happen. Troll and Toad, CFB, they could be out of a card. I mean, they're going to sell it down to the last one. They'll raise the price a bit, but it can happen. Well, dang, then what do? I mean, the price would basically return to its old price and people would have to start buying the like older copies, like the original prints of these. It could happen with some of these. I mean, the first time Tarmogoyf was reprinted, I think the price went up, and then the second time it was reprinted, it dipped and then went up higher than it was originally. It can and will happen. So I'd be very worried about the availability of singles from this unless there's a second wave, and that's even more of a reason for them to do a second print wave. So I do think they will. But in general, right now it looks like, should you wait? Is it crashing? Oh my gosh, everything's crashing. I should wait a week to buy singles. No. I would wait until at best Wednesday. That is the soonest that I think this could turn around, but then again, there are cards that have gone down and have already gone back up. I know because I've raised my prices already. I've looked at them the other day and I'm researching like which ones are the priority to list first. Okay, let's not do this when it's low. And then I come back to it. I'm like, okay, let's list the $14 cards. Ooh, it's 17 now. It's back up to 17. Which means that this card's popular, which means people are buying it because they bought it back up to 17. Everybody who had it for less than 17 has sold completely out. Well, isn't that interesting? And then I list them and then they sell. So the price is going to continue to get bought up. So it is happening, and the availability is dangerously low compared to any other set release, including very similar master sets, because of the price and because of other people wanting them than single sellers. Also, a lot of the singles people were not happy. They were real skittish about buying this because it didn't quite work out for Iconic Masters and Masters 25. So it's a perfect storm of, wow, there is not a lot of loose singles inventory with the big sellers worldwide, compared to what there should be. So what that means for the future, probably a reprint wave, and just it's not going to crash. People saying it's happening now, not really. They're pointing at very specific examples. You got to look at the whole picture and ask, somebody who sells $100,000 worth of singles per year, like me. Yeah, the people who actually do it on a daily basis and have to watch the prices, otherwise they'll get screwed and lose money. That's a good source for information on what's happening to the market. Not random alarmist idiots on Reddit or Kevin from Rogue Dumbass. I very much have my doubts about how many singles he actually sells. So that's the overall story. It's a very interesting release. It's a little tighter, it's a little higher, it's a little bit less room to fall price-wise than everybody is saying. That's why I wanted to make this video correcting all of that and giving the evidence behind it. So hopefully this helped out your buying decision, which, by the way, let me just summarize this. Buy a box right freaking now if you want one, because you are never going to see them at $290 ever again. It's going to continue to get worse and worse and worse. And if there's a second wave, boy, are you going to have a tough time actually, getting your hands on some of that either. This ain't going to be no Eternal Masters second print wave, okay? You aren't going to get these boxes for like $170 or something. That ain't going to happen. And if you're going to buy singles, for the not popular ones, they're probably going to continue to fall a little bit. But for the popular ones, you're maybe already looking at as low as they're going to get. Some of them went down and they're already on the rise. So watch that. Just watch it daily and be like, okay, I see a trend here. I got to jump on it. This is my opportunity. So hopefully this helps you out. As for should you open a box and gamble on it, I'm going to say no, just due to the sheer variance. We'll just pretend $335, like I guess if you bought it locally and that's what they're charging. For $335, the whole, I could open a $30 box topper. Actually, my Lava Claw, I think, sold for $25 locally, plus tax. So you could get a $25 box topper or a $260 Liliana, or something in between. There's a lot of losers, a lot of winners. It's wonderful if you win, but honestly, it's more stressful to me than exciting because I've already paid for it, okay? This is not a drop your name in to get a door prize, okay? This you have some money in this one. The box topper can make or break the box. It's about 1/5 of the entire value, so opening a really shitty one is you could have more fun taking a couple car batteries, jump them together with jumper cables, and then take the last set of jumper cables and just clip them right to your nuts. It is about that fun to open a Lava Claw or what's the other shitty ones? Maelstrom, I think. Is Lord of Extinction one of them? That or getting a box like the one that I kind of hinted at in that other video. I was not kidding. Literally the only good card in there was Noble Hierarch. There was not another single card above $25 in the entire box. Oh, and the box topper was Sigarda. So that's what? $40-50 plus like 65. The whole box, if you add in all the $15 cards, was like barely 200, if that. I wouldn't even be surprised if it was like 160. That's why I didn't even upload the full box opening. It's just a waste of everybody's time and my money. So the fact that that can happen to you, oh boy, it's like buying a car and finding out it's a piece of crap, or like buying like an iPad or a laptop on Craigslist and finding out it's massively just garbage and not worth what they said, and it's got huge problems and you're not going to get anywhere near what you paid out of it. Bad feeling, guys. Now, if you have the money to buy like 6 boxes, maybe. You'd have to be pretty damn unlucky to lose on all of them, but I've had a streak of 11 bad boxes with BFZ, actually. So it still can happen, but you're kind of not exposing yourself to as much risk. So if you're going to buy them and the prices are going up, I'd say go online, get them for $290, or get them locally for like $3 and change or something, whatever. And yeah, you're probably going to even out and have 3 good boxes and 3 bad ones, or just a bunch of average ones mixed in. Cool. But you'd have to just want the cards or be intending to resell 90 of them to like a buy list or something, whatever. Like to kind of reclaim some of that, because nobody just has a couple grand sitting around. Come on, what the hell? If you do, spend it on something less stupid and more useful. Like upgrade your health insurance from a silver to a gold plan or something. You get more value out of that than you will out of a binder full of magic cards from UMA. So that's my final verdict on everything, my opinions of what you should do, shouldn't do, when and why, and everything, and explanations and evidence. So leave a big ol' thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys next video.